Hello everyone, today we're looking at one of these. This is an AEG D901. You might be forgiven for thinking this is a 902. This is one of the original 901s. I do also have a 902, which I actually used as one of my own phones. It is pretty beat up, not this one, the other one, the 902. There isn't much difference as far as I can tell between the 901 and 902. I just happened to buy the 902 and it was a good solid workhorse, so I used that, and then I came across a 901. I think there are some subtle differences between the 901 and the 902 in terms of software. Looks wise, you couldn't tell them apart. The handset's the same, everything else is pretty much the same on here. This is one of the smallest GSM 900 devices you can still use to this day. It's actually real nimble and it's real light, and it's got quite a solid handle, which is why I actually chose one of these to use for myself when I was floating around the Middle East many years ago, over in Oman and Jordan, Egypt and Saudi. Popped down to Yemen as well, and Bahrain, and Kuwait as well, many years ago. So I'm gonna power this one up. You might also, if you're German, you might also recognize this because this is a German make, but you might also recognize one of these. Now this is a Telecom D1354. It's the same handset. It's just the same phone. Just the handset is slightly different, and I think actually the handsets are interchangeable. Pretty much the same thing. Antenna is slightly different. This is a screw-on. I do have one that's not a screw-on. But I'll do a video about this at a later date. Unfortunately, the cord's slightly damaged. But yeah, worth noting anyway. And of course, the 902 and the 901 didn't only come in this sort of form. They came as a car phone as well. Now the beauty about the car phone version, or about this version and the car phone version, was it was interchangeable, because you could undo the phone part off this real easily, and you could literally slot that into the back of the car like so. This is all that you would need. In fact, this has the phone bolted on, and I do actually have the full kit for the car. I've got a separate handset here as well, and I've got a second one of these as well. So I've got a few of these, and actually I bought this probably, it must be, I don't know, probably 15, 16, possibly even 18 years ago, to actually install this in my own car, believe it or not, because I thought they were that good. I never actually got around to installing it in their car, so this one is actually pretty much new. This has never been installed, which is why the back is pretty much dust free. It's been in the box. I don't know if you can tell that's just the plastic, the way it's molded. But yeah, so this has the phone in it. So what you need to do is just literally turn this, and you'll see this slide that way, and then you need a little bit of this has been in storage for some time, so it's a bit stuck, but normally you could just literally pop this guy off, and that'd be it. And this is your phone. This is basically your phone, and then if you had a carry cradle like so, you could actually mount it on here. Now I did actually forget how you mount this on here, believe it or not. I do remember doing it, but I'm not too sure where the hooks or the clip is, which is real strange, because I remember doing it. But this is in fact the same thing, as you can clearly see. That just kind of slots on here. I'm just trying to work out where the hooks are for this, but I can't actually see any, so I'm not too sure. But in any case, this is a 90. Actually, no, this is a 901. So the car version I've got is a 901 as well. So, but anyway, let me quickly pop this guy back. Wrong way, like so. So yeah, that would just, I mean, this little cradle thing that I just popped this guy in, I can get him back out now. Whoop. Wasn't meaning to do that. Right, so this is the phone part. This you would have stuck to the inside of your boot, or your somewhere nicely tucked away. You'd obviously have the cables, which actually I do have all the adapters that fit in here, and the cable loom and everything. I got that in the box. I could have really dug that out, but I haven't, because I ain't going to bore you with the cables. But you just literally pop this guy in like so, and slot him in, and then just turn that, and you'd be good to go. And obviously the loom and the handset would be installed in the car, and you were good to go basically. But let's fire this one up. I think this should work, because this one I've never actually used, and this is pretty much new. So these phones use the good old video camcorder battery. These are 12 volt to 2000 milliamp hour battery. I got a couple of these that I still use to this day. Useful things. These are lead acid though, so the airlines ain't too happy about you having them on planes. So if you buy one and you put it in your luggage, be prepared to get some questions asked, because they really don't like these on planes. But anyway, this guy slots in like so. And unlike Motorola phones, which come on when you put the battery in, this doesn't. So I'm gonna drop this. Handset comes undone. The SIM slot, by the way, is up here. It takes a full credit card size SIM. Being a German phone, this is in German. The menu's in German. I don't know if I've changed the menu on this yet, actually. So this is actually still factory default. When you use one of these bad boys, this is just a random Vodafone SIM card, prepaid, that I dug out. It says no truth Moglik, which is you think emergency calls only, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it says. And you get a nice little battery meter up there as well. Nice 3-line dot matrix LCD display. So the card slots in there. It says please wait, and hopefully this will pick up some sort of service. Now, it doesn't display the service permanently. It says UK Vodafone to begin with, but the funky thing about these phones is that you don't have the service provider displayed as a name. You have the service level as a number. So E9 is basically full service. E1 would be the lowest level of service available. So your signal strength, basically. So if I take the antenna off, I would expect that E9 to drop to maybe E1 or E0, maybe. So we take the antenna off. There we go, E0. So incidentally, what happens if we put a screwdriver on there? Anything? No? Maybe it won't work. But anyway, real funny connector that. I think that's a TNC. It says yes, no service available. We know that. Let me pop the antenna back on, and that should pick up. There we go, E9 service. And also, if the service light's flashing, it means it's pulling out to the network. It says E3, E9. There we go. So to go into the menu on this, oh, it says please wait. Oh no, it says please select function, actually. So you got network search, phone number, storage, security functions. Not too sure what that is. Great Merkmale, notifications maybe. I'm not too sure. And that's it, pretty much. The strange thing about these phones is that some of the menus had to be enabled on the SIM cards. If you look at all the old school GSM phones, in fact, even some of the MicroTac GSMs, if you use them with a modern SIM, you might find that actually you can't send SMS messages. But if you use an older SIM that does actually have the messaging function on the SIM, it will actually have it in the menu. I will try and do a video about this. It's something I actually worked out quite recently. I'd run out of juice on one of my phones. I popped the SIM card into another phone, and I knew that SIM card. I was sending SMS messages, and I actually couldn't get the menu for the SMS messages on the other phone. So really strange. But anyway, so this has just gone back. So let's quickly go through here. So you scroll down and then you go OK. This is home network, available network, store the network on the card, on the SIM card, type of search, and that's it. We're back to home network. So actually it doesn't give me other info. Okay, go back. Let's try card storage something or other. I'm not too sure what that is. Phone storage, and those are all the options you got. Actually no, you got phone storage entry. So this is probably where you'd store the numbers into the phone memory, and then this is where you would store the numbers. Actually no, Lushan means erase. You see, I've done my research before doing this video. So card storage. So this is basically deleting all the numbers in the phone, and that would be deleting all the numbers. So this would be in the phone, and then this would be on the card. Don't really want to do that. In fact, we could do, but there's no numbers on the store on the phone store anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So going further down, security functions. Lock the phone. I'm not going to press that because I don't know what the security code is. It says enable phone functions. Let's go into that. Oh, new security code. No, we don't want to do that. How do I get out of this? End. So back to security options then. Unlocked phone functions. I don't know what that is. That is what is that? That's the lock duration, I think. And that's back to locking the phone basically. You didn't get much in terms of functions for locking and whatnot. Go to Merkmal. I'm not too sure what that is. Let's go and have a look. Oh, this is volume settings. So how do you increase that? There we go. So you got loudspeaker. We'll leave it at that. Leave it on the default. So we'd hit OK. And then you got loudspeaker. So the first was actually the earpiece. And the loudspeaker is actually on here. The good thing about these phones is they incorporated a kind of hands-free function. So you got the microphone here, the loudspeaker there, and you got obviously your earpiece and your mic to use the handset on your head there. So so what else we got? Let's have a look. Unroof signal. That is the call signal. Not too sure what that is. Oh, this would be the ringtone. We'll set that to maximum. And then this is the keypad tones. Not going to do anything with that. Oh, this would be engaged tone. Lets you set a whole bunch of different tones. This would be the warning tone levels. Loudspeaker. We've changed that already. Actually, no. This would be her would be handset. Loudspeaker was loudspeaker. And we're back to square one basically. We've done the round. Pretty neat. I think that it gives you different options for setting different volumes for different things. You don't get that on many phones nowadays. But anyway, how do I get out of here? End. What else we got? Let's have a look. We got language selection. Here we go. We could change this to English. That's much better. Right, menu function. Here we go. So you got network selection, telephone directory, security functions, equipment parameter, and that's pretty much it. So let's go back into equipment parameter, volume preset, language selection, equipment parameter preset, volume preset. Oh well, that's it pretty much. You didn't get much in terms of menu on this, but you got the essentials really. And when I used this many years ago, it did work really well. It really did very well. The only snag I have to remember about, or have to mention on the 901, was that occasionally, if you had a SIM card with a pin on it, with a pin enabled on it, the phone would reboot and it would ask for the pin. And if obviously it's at that stage where it's asking for a pin and you get a call, it's not going to ring because it's not logged onto the network. So that was the only little bug that I had, or the little gripe I had with it. But these are still good to go. You can still use these, and they are remarkably light for what it is. Just the battery. Actually, the battery is probably as heavy as the phone. In fact, I would almost say the battery is heavier than the phone. So if you have two of these batteries and you have them in your hand, that's probably heavier than what this phone with the battery weighs. So these are quite nifty little nimble things. Well recommended if you're after a GSM phone that's not too clunky and you don't want a shoulder weight when you're using these. I would recommend one of these. You could only have gotten these in Germany, but I have seen them come up quite regularly. People clearing out their loft spaces and car boot sales and whatnot. So these are definitely around. You just got to search for them. That's all I got to say about this particular one. Like I said, I did use one of these, not this very one, because this is actually in pretty decent condition. I do have the charger cable for it, which actually slots in here. There's a couple of pins that you need to have the power going to for negative and positive. I'm not too sure what that is. Never used that. Presumably that's for some sort of COM port. The car kit actually has both connectors, so I'm guessing that would be for an extension of the handset. Not too sure, but without looking into it, I couldn't tell you. But anyway, that's all I got to say about this. It's got a hook there and a hook there for shoulder strap as well. I should have really dug that out because I do have one somewhere. But like I said, nifty little phones, well worth getting if you want a GSM 900 phone. And you can still use GSM 900 pretty much everywhere outside of the Americas. So Canada, North America, South America, and Middle America. Pretty much everywhere else in the world there is GSM 900. But anyway, thanks for checking out this video. Check out some of the other videos that I've got on here. You got any questions or comments, drop me a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as well. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.